the amazing Randi.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may believe that what you're seeing is genuine levitation done by someone with psychic powers. And what better place would there be in the whole world to present this illusion than here among the megalithic monuments of Stonehenge? But please don't be deceived. I don't have psychic powers. I'm merely an illusionist. Tonight, we're going to look into the difference between psychic powers and illusion. Join us for Exploring Psychic Powers Live.
Exploring Psychic Powers, live, starring James Randi, with mathematical wizard Arthur Benjamin, psychic Sylvia Brown, quackery expert Bob McCoy, illusionists Penn and Teller, and special guest Uri Geller. And now, your host, Bill Bixby.
Good evening, and welcome to a fascinating journey, a journey into the unknown. Tonight, we will examine claimed psychic powers and paranormal phenomena that have intrigued mankind for eons and remain the subject of controversy today. Our star, renowned psychic investigator James Randi, will lead us on an in-depth investigation of psychic powers. Are these powers genuine or are they imagined? Tonight, we will attempt to find out. We will see demonstrations of ESP, astrology, predictions, aura reading, divining for water, psychometry, firewalking, psychic surgery, and channeling. We'll examine quackery and meet a man who can calculate numbers faster than a computer with his amazing special powers. Our exploration tonight will take us around the globe, to France, birthplace and resting place of Allan Kardec, the father of spiritualism. To Brazil, perhaps the most fertile area for paranormal activity in the world, where psychic healers and mediums claim to have produced medical miracles and works of art by communicating with spirits. We will visit England's famed Stansted Hall, the only college in the world devoted to the study of communicating with the dead. We will journey to Sri Lanka, where ordinary people with extraordinary determination eat fire and walk barefooted over burning coals. Also tonight, in the $100,000 Psychic Challenge, 7 people who claim to have supernatural powers may prove their powers are real. A woman who claims to have ESP. An astrologer. An aura reader. A man who finds water with divining rods. A psychometrist who reads people by touching objects they've had in their possession. And 2 people who have made predictions. Also tonight, for the first time ever in the same studio, James Randi and Uri Geller. These 2 men have been feuding for years. Randi says that Uri's claims are unsubstantiated. Uri promises to perform an amazing demonstration of his psychic powers here tonight.
Hi, I'm Uri Geller, and tonight what I'll be asking you to do is prepare broken watches, broken clocks, broken house appliances, buy the television set. Have them ready, because I will try to do something amazing in your own home tonight. So don't forget, have them prepared.
Amaze me? The only thing that Geller could do tonight to amaze me would be to admit that he's a trickster who has tried to deceive a lot of people.
Can Uri do it, or is Randi right? We'll find out when we continue exploring psychic powers live. All over the world, including the United States, Canada, Italy, and Australia. Tonight, 7 individuals will have the chance to prove they have psychic powers. With 7 challengers, there's a possibility we could give away $700,000 tonight. Now, to qualify for the prize money, each of our psychic challengers has agreed to put their psychic powers to a test. The experts who designed scientific protocol for these tests are with us tonight. Dr. Stanley Krippner, the world's foremost expert in parapsychology and a professor of psychology at Saybrook Institute in San Francisco. And collaborating with Dr. Krippner is Dr. Ray Hyman, a professor of psychology at the University of Oregon in Eugene and a respected statistician. Together, these two men have worked with the challengers to establish the rules by which each of the psychic challenges will be conducted. We'll be seeing more of Dr. Krippner and Dr. Hyman later. But right now, let's meet once again a man who, in addition to being one of the world's foremost investigators of paranormal activities, is also a master illusionist. He's uniquely qualified to tell the difference between illusion and paranormal powers. He's the author of many books on the subject, including Flim Flam. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Randi.
Thank you so much. You know, I'm an illusionist by trade, that is to say a conjurer, or if you wish, magician. I have no psychic powers whatsoever, nor does any magician. We don't claim that. But as a magician, I think that I'm uniquely qualified to expose trickery when it occurs in parapsychology or in psychic claims, and particularly when it's self-deception. Now, at this point, we're going to do a demonstration. We have asked for a volunteer. We're going to show you what psychokinesis is. Psychokinesis is the apparent power of the mind to change, alter, or move, or in some way affect material objects. We'll do two demonstrations for you. We have a volunteer from the audience that we spoke to earlier. Yes, this gentleman over here. We chose him because he does have a watch that will show up well on television. How do you do, sir? You haven't met me before.
Thank you.
Just to get you out of the audience. What is your first name?
Miguel.
Miguel,
Yep.
you have a watch in there.
Yep.
Hold on to it for a moment. These are teaspoons, stainless steel spoons, I imagine. Can you see stainless written on there someplace? It probably is.
Yes.
It does say stainless. Very good. Have you ever seen the stainless steel psychometry trick? Watch this. Psychometry. I mean, parapsychological trick. Watch. Would you hold on to this for me like that, with your elbows on the table, please? Make life easier for you. Just turn to that camera right there, if you would. Now, I'm just going to begin stroking this spoon, and you're going to see something mysterious happen. You know, a psychic who at one time was doing this sort of trick is no longer doing it because every 12-year-old magician has learned how to do it. And Miguel, not too tightly, very lightly, please. Just very lightly. It used to be done a great deal, but now the magicians and the kids are doing it too. Miguel, let go of that for me for a moment. Just let go. You'll see that it seems to be turning sort of fluid, doesn't it? Look at this. And right before your very eyes, now you're up close to it, you can see it happening. Look, it seems to be getting soft and turning all sort of putty-like. Put your hands underneath it there. I think oh, it fell in two pieces. A miracle of a semi-religious nature. Thank you. Now would you remove your watch for me, please? Now, this watch is a what? A Seiko watch, a very good watch, obviously. And it says on it, 18 minutes past 5. Am I correct?
Yes.
We can show that on the camera right here, I believe. 18 minutes past 5. Now, I'm going to ask you to hold it flat in your hand like this. If you would, put the finger of your other hand on the back of it. Now, concentrate, all right? You have to help me now. Oh, look, I can feel the power working. I don't have to do this. The Magician's Union likes it, though, you see. Now, let me take a peek here. Not yet. I'm going to try to make it stop and go back before the show so we can get started again. Let's take a peek at it now. Miguel, what time does it say?
It's 4:43.
4:43. How time flies when you're having a lot of fun, don't you think? Now, I demonstrated these things for you folks because you must learn that tricks can be done that will deceive you, and they appear to be paranormal. There's nothing paranormal about this at all. Thank you, Miguel.
Can I get it back to you?
I believe so.
Our exploration tonight begins with ESP, extrasensory perception. We've all heard about it. I think many of us have even experienced it. I think I have. ESP is perceiving something or communicating outside of normal sensory channels. In other words, clairvoyance, telepathy, thought transference, or premonition. there such a thing as extrasensory perception? Ask anyone who's ever been a parent. Now, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, this little boy was never in danger. A little damp, maybe. There we go. But never really in danger, because what you just saw was one of the special effects at Universal Studios Hollywood. Now, tonight, in our first $100,000 psychic challenge, we will attempt in this limited experiment to determine if there is such a thing as ESP. And since the test takes more than 2 hours, it has already begun. ESP challenger Valerie Swan from San Francisco is 34 years old, a single parent with 1 child. Valerie works as a professional crystal healer and says that ESP is an outgrowth of her overall psychic awareness. Now, during her test, Valerie will be shown a total of 250 standard ESP cards. And as each card is placed before her, face down, she must describe the shape printed on the other side of the card. Is it a star, a square, example star, example square, example wavy line, a circle, or a plus? Her responses will be totaled at the end of the show, and if she correctly identifies 82 out of the 250 cards, she will win $100,000. Now, Dr. Hyman, 82 out of 250 cards, that doesn't seem very hard to do.
Believe me, it would be extremely unlikely if anyone could get 82 out of 250 just by chance.
Well, you're the expert. So, while Valerie continues to concentrate on her test, you can test your powers of ESP tonight by taking part in the first live national ESP test ever conducted on television. And here's how it works. The card locked under this glass is similar to the cards our ESP challenger is using. It was selected face down at random by Dr. Krippner, and all of the other cards in the deck were destroyed. No one in the studio knows what the card is. On the back of this card, there is either a star, a square, wavy lines, a circle, or a plus. Now study the card closely. Concentrate. Try to picture the shape on the other side of the card. Do you have it?
If you see a star, dial 1-900-490-6331. For a square, 6332. For wavy lines, 6333. A circle, 6334. A plus, 6335. Callers will be charged $2 per call. Place your call in the national ESP test now. Results will be announced at the end of this program. Coming up, Penn and Teller and the $100,000 Astrology Challenge on Exploring Psychic Powers, live.
My next guests have been called con artists and swindlers. They prefer the term rip-off artistes. Now, in addition to the rather large sum of money that they're being paid to do this show tonight, they're also trying for the $100,000 prize. Ladies and gentlemen, Penn and Teller.
There you are, Randy. We're only wrong on one front, man. And that is we are not going to try for the $100,000. We are going to win the $100,000.
You think so?
Get the pen out of your pocket, go over and write that check, man.
Okay,
You
lots
watch
of luck.
this.
Lots of luck.
Yeah, we know the rules. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means if you've got an ordinary claim, it requires podunk proof. For instance, I'm claiming my partner here is standing next to me. You're not going to doubt that. Why should you? You've seen people stand side by side often. What's another ordinary claim? Well, that we're performing live here for all these wonderful people. We wouldn't lie about that. Why would we? Ain't a nickel in that lie. What's another claim? Oh, that the man directing this, Stan, has also worked with David Copperfield. You can tell that by the Mylar background. So, what is our extraordinary claim? Well, our extraordinary claim is that we are going to vanish a car into thin air. And where's our extraordinary proof? Well, we'll show you. First of all, it's a solid car. That's a real car. Also, extraordinary proof number 2, it ain't going underneath. There are no trap doors, no mirrors, no nothing. Extraordinary proof number 3, this car ain't gonna slide back out through the curtain. If cars move like that, even Teller could parallel park. Our extraordinary claim, we're gonna vanish a car. Our extraordinary evidence, watch. Randi, the check from mail.
No, I don't think so, Ben.
What do you mean, Randi?
Well...
Penn and Teller, it just goes to show you, you can't always believe what you see. We will see them again later, though, when they get back from the junkyard. Now, astrology is the art of predicting or reading a person's fate or future based on the juxtaposition of the sun, the moon, and the planets. Using the 12 signs of the zodiac as its symbols, astrology has been popular and controversial ever since it began in ancient Egypt, long before anyone ever said, "Hi, I'm Dave, what's your sign?" Which brings us to our next $100,000 challenge, astrology. Now, once again, our test protocol experts, Dr. Krippner and Hyman, have designed, with the approval of the challenger, a way to examine whether astrology really works. Prior to tonight's broadcast, the astrology challenger was given the time, date, and place of birth of a total of 12 men and women. Each of the 12 subjects was born under a different sign. All were born within 3 years of each other and have sworn they have never met the challenger. So using a detailed chart on each person, the astrology challenger was allowed to meet the 12 subjects and briefly interview them under strict supervision. He then told them what sign he thought they were born under. In a moment, we'll see if he was right. Astrology challenger Joseph Merriweather, 36, was born in Chicago. He became an accomplished astrologer in the 60s while living in the Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco. He reads palms and eyes. All right, Joseph Merriweather has told the subjects to sit in front of what he believes to be their correct astrological signs. If he gets 10 out of 12 signs right, he will win $100,000. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, will you please look behind you at the sign our astrology challenger has given you? If you are not seated in front of your correct sign, would you please stand up and step forward? Ooh, well, I'm terribly sorry to say, Joseph, that we did not score well this time, but I thank you a lot for your courage, for coming here tonight and putting your powers to test. Thank you very, very much.
Coming up, psychic Uri Geller and the truth about medical quackery on Exploring Psychic Powers Live. Psychic Powers Live.
In preparing for tonight's show, the producers of this program and the amazing Randi, known to his friends as Amazing, searched the globe for stories about psychic phenomena and people who could demonstrate their effects. Randi and the producers interviewed hundreds of people who expressed an interest in appearing on Exploring Psychic Powers Live. Those taking part in tonight's $100,000 psychic challenge were selected because our experts were able to design a way to test their powers, and the challengers agreed to take those tests. All the challengers participated in the design of their tests and agreed to the test protocol.
The person who deliberately misrepresents himself as possessing medical or other healing skills. Fortunately, this man is not a quack. He's a curator of the Museum of Questionable Medical Devices at River Place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob McCoy.
Randy, you're sitting in an antique phrenology machine invented in the early 1900s that was based on he could detect a person's personality by the bumps on the head. And so I've just read your head to see what kind of a bloke you are here. Well, it says you're rather unique, fella. You won't take advice from anybody.
Well,
You rather generous at times.
oh, that's true.
You're not very suave. You got to make a greater effort at being cool if you can.
Sorry.
You don't keep secrets well either, it says here. But your faith is way too high. You got to be careful you're not swept off your feet by some evangelist.
Well, faith I may have to a certain extent, but, Bob, in this machine, zero faith, I believe. What else have you got to show us here?
Well, I have a few other things that have been seized by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration over the years, and some things from the Bakken Library that I'll demonstrate to you. This is one of my favorites. This was invented by a woman in Southern California named Ruth Dround, who fashioned herself as a chiropractor, but she wasn't. She would take blood samples like this, insert them in this device here, which the meter would read the vibrations that were coming off that blood so she could detect what your illness was. Now, if she wanted to cure you and send out healing rays, she made this therapeutic radio transmitter. So all she had to do was to turn on this radio, set the dial for the vibration rate of your blood problems, and send out healing rays no matter where you were in the world. Tyrone Power and his wife, surprisingly, were in an automobile accident in northern Italy, and she had samples of their blood, which she sent out through this transmitter, and they both got better.
Well, I can't ask for any more proof than that. That clinches it.
And she did send them a bill when they got back in this country.
I would hope so, yes.
Now, this is something from the 1860s from the Bakken Library. This is an electric belt, and you would wear this around your waist, and your body would act as sweat and generate negative electricity to restore manhood. I will leave it to your imagination as to how this device
I'll leave it to your imagination, Bob.
This is another rather odd device. It looks to you just like some PVC pipe. But in my opinion, while it has 6 opaque lenses, it's more than that. And what it does, it would be used to scan your back, your spine, to see if you had vibrations coming off detecting illness, or we could scan some of your limbs to see if there is a problem. There's something wrong in your elbow. My fingers are sticking from vibrations coming from it.
That's absolutely true. I do have a pain in my left elbow. My left elbow always starts to hurt me when I hear absolute nonsense.
Well,
so it must work.
There were about 2,000 of these toughness radiation detectors sold, and they got $2,400 a piece. They were just buried in a landfill in Minneapolis about 3 months ago.
Show me where. That's pretty expensive stuff.
You'd go dig them up. Now, this is a spectrochrome from the 1930s. This device was made by Dinshaw Gaudiali. He sold 9,000 of them. He got $90 a piece for them. And it works somewhat like these other devices through vibrations and rays. You sit in front of it in the nude facing north, and we have different colored lights that determine what is used to cure you, but you have to be sitting in the nude facing north.
Well, I'll face north, but not in the nude. I'd like to see you sitting facing north in the nude. Bob, that's really remarkable. Ladies and gentlemen, the real McCoy, Bob McCoy.
While challenger Valerie Swan is testing her powers of ESP, concentrate on this card. You can test your powers of ESP by taking part in the National ESP Test. Try to picture the shape on the other side of the card and call the number opposite the shape you see. Callers will be charged $2 per call. Coming up, New Age magicians Penn and Teller, the $100,000 Aura Challenge, and psychic Sylvia Brown, all on Exploring Psychic Powers Live.
Our exploration takes us now into the mysterious world of auras and aura readers. Now, most of us cannot see them, but to those who claim they can, an aura is a cloud of light suffused with various colors which surrounds a person. Aura readers claim they can tell certain things about a person by reading the colors and the intensity of that person's aura. Aura reading has been around for centuries and is the subject of our next $100,000 psychic challenge. Dr. Krippner, what's the protocol for the aura reading challenge?
Well, the aura is said to surround a person and extend above the head. If a person just under 6 feet tall stands behind a screen that's 6 feet high, their aura should still be visible, extending above the screen.
So the aura reader should be able to tell us which panel has a person behind it just by seeing that person's aura above the panel.
That's correct.
All right, this should be fascinating. Now, let's meet the challenger. Aura challenger Barbara Martin of Los Angeles is a teacher, counselor, lecturer, author, and self-described aura analyst. She was a technical advisor on the motion picture Dreamscape. She claims to be able to see auras around people, plants, and animals. All right, we're ready to test Barbara Martin's ability to read auras. Now, as you can see, there are 10 numbered screens on stage, and according to the test protocol, Barbara chose several people from a group of volunteers whom she agreed had visible auras that extend at least a foot over their heads. Now, Barbara, there you see the group of volunteers. Are these the volunteers whose auras you said you could see?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you very much, volunteers. Now, at Barbara's request, orange-red lights are being used to cleanse any auras that might have been left by the volunteers and might interfere. Now, Barbara, have we met all of the provisions of the test protocol?
Yes, you have.
Okay. Then may we have the lights down, please? Now, Barbara, you understand that to win the $100,000, you must be right in every case, and if you succeed the first time, the test will be repeated, so to eliminate any possibility of chance. Otherwise, the challenge is over.
Yeah, it's quite a challenge, but I understand.
Okay, I'm pulling for you, too. The subjects are now taking their place on stage behind the screens. Barbara doesn't know how many subjects there will be or where they have been assigned. All right? All right, the subjects are now in place. May we have the lights up, please? All right. Barbara, will you please tell us which panels have people behind them?
Starting with the 1.
Number 1?
Yes. The 2. The 3.
3.
The 4 is weak, but I believe it's there.
So you think there's a person behind 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, all right?
The 5 and the 6.
5 and 6.
7.
7.
I think you have people behind all of them. 8, 9, and 10 seem to be there.
So you believe there are people behind each one of the screens. All right. Will the subjects behind the screens please raise their hands now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite, Barbara. I'm sorry. The test is over, but thank you so very, very much for trying. And thanks for helping us explore psychic powers tonight. Nothing? What's going on?
While ESP challenger Valerie Swan continues to test her powers of ESP in hopes of winning $100,000, concentrate on this card. You can test your powers of ESP by taking part in the National ESP Test. Try to picture the shape on the other side of the card and call the number opposite the shape you see. Callers will be charged $2 per call.
Psychic readings are extremely subjective things. Now, some say they're entertainment, some say they're a scam, and some believe that they work. Although psychic readings are difficult to test, no program about psychic powers will be complete without a demonstration of what psychics do. Now, the woman you're about to meet is well known for her dynamic, down-to-earth style. She's a consummate professional. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sylvia Brown.
What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go through this audience and I'm going to do readings. And the only thing that I want you to do is to validate or invalidate anything that I say, because a lot of times things can be in the future. This lady over here, You've never met me before, have you? There is a young male in your life that has very, very puppy dog eyes. Do you know what I mean? The eyes droop down at the corners. He is going to come back into your life and then leave your life and come back into your life. This looks like a direct connection to you. He's kind of slender. He's athletic looking. He has sort of large bones. And this is going to cause you a great deal of problems. Do you understand what this is about? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yes, I do.
In what part?
The person coming back and forth and cause problems.
Who is that to you?
I think it's somebody I know. I've met recently.
That keeps coming back and forth. All right, there's somebody here, too. This lady right next to you. I'll get over to you in just a minute. The name Bill keeps coming through so strong from you. Do you know anyone at this point by the name of Bill?
No, I don't.
There's a heavy-set, full-face man with jowls, very, very blue eyes, that really has something to do with real estate or property that's going to help you. This is aside from the Bill, because this William is also another person. And this has to do with a two-layered property. In other words, an upstairs and a downstairs.
No,
Not at this point. Okay. Because this person is going to be very significant to you by the name of William. All right? Because a lot of times these things can be in the future. Let's go to you. There is a 2.5 year period in which it looks like you are going to be, I don't want to say without a job, but there's a flat period in which you're not doing what you want to do. And that's going to cause you a lot of dissension. And this 2.5 year period, then you're going to get into a lot of marketing and sales work. And this marketing and sales work has to do with 3 other men that you're going to be training.
I understand you're not so good. I'm a German.
I don't care whether you're German, you still work or not work, don't you? I mean, we do that in France or in Germany or wherever, don't we?
I must much think when you speak English, and I understand all words.
Okay, 2 years of no working that you like. Okay. That's my German. Okay. And then you're going to be traveling and doing some telemarketing work, marketing sales.
Yes.
Yes. Is that yes for me or yes for you?
Yes, for me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see, who else? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. She's sitting here saying, please don't let her call on me. All right, who is Kathy?
I don't know.
This girl is by the name of Kathy, has dark curly hair, and she is a friend that looks like she's going to be in school with you. She has very, very beautiful blue eyes, and she does a lot of paperwork with you, which looks like school, because not everybody young is in school usually. This person isn't by the name of Kathy. Also looks like you're going to get into some kind of therapy work.
I don't know. That doesn't sound familiar.
Do you know what you're going to do?
Yes.
Okay, but it doesn't have anything to do with therapy. But it looks like you're going to be dealing with people that has to do with therapy. In other words, advising people, helping people, talking to people. Okay? All right. Let's see, who else? It looks like you're going to get into show business.
No.
No, well, you don't know that yet. You're not a psychic. But it looks like you're going to do something in show business. It's going to be really wonderful for you. This is a demonstration of what psychic ability can be like. And, of course, no one is God. But there is also a power beyond yourself that you feel that really can be very valid. And I feel that I must support the fact that there are such things that can be valid. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sylvia Brown.
Uri Geller says he'll do something spectacular. James Randi thinks he's a conjurer. The sparks fly. Next on Exploring Psychic Powers Live.
Welcome back to Exploring Psychic Powers Live. When it comes to investigating psychic phenomena and paranormal powers, things aren't always what they seem. With all the claims that supernatural powers are real and all the counterclaims that they're fake, it's often difficult to tell up from down. One man who has always been a master at confounding our senses is the very controversial Uri Geller. Geller first gained worldwide notoriety in the early 70s with spoon bending and other acts of telepathy and psychokinesis. And Geller's credibility was attacked, most notably in books written by James Randi in 1975 and 1982.
Bring her here.
Still, Geller has prospered.
Come on now.
He lives with his family on this large estate along the River Thames outside of London. And these days, in addition to many public appearances, he claims that he devotes his psychic abilities to such highly profitable enterprises as finding gold and oil.
To turn this power or this ability into something useful, that's when I discovered that I could earn vast amounts of money with it. And when I say money, I mean not $1 million or $2 million, but tens of millions. One of the things that I became well known for is moving a needle of a compass with the power of my mind. Now, I must tell you that what you're about to see here is real. It's an energy that I think we all have. And this is what I do, very simple. I clench my fist like this, and I say in my mind, move. Move! Let's try it again. It moved very little. Help me, because I need, in a way, I need your energy. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Go! Move! There! Go! Come on! Come on! Go! 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 Look at it. Now, and this is a real power. Now, skeptics always say, come on, he must have a hidden magnet. So I was accused of having magnets in my buckle belt, hanging on my neck. I'll even take the shirt off so you will see that I have nothing on me, strapped to my knees. They even accused me of having hollow teeth and having magnets in my teeth. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've been attacked by lots of people, including Randi. And I look at it in both ways. First of all, as long as their attacks are on the professional side of my life, I take them. Many years ago, I thought that will destroy me, I'm finished. But I used it as publicity. I even had to write books explaining my side that, look, hey, some of the things that they're saying about me are false. And this is the truth. We have a packet of seeds here. Believe me, they're sealed. I think I got them either in Germany or in Italy. And we'll open it right in front of the camera. And you can see, there. I'm gonna pour, open your hands. I'm gonna pour some in Natalie's hands and just show it. I'll pour some on the floor. You can see there are just very simple seeds. And if the producer or whoever wants to check them, you may. Now look what I'm going to do to them. I'm going to pick a few into my hand, like this, and I'm going to try to make them grow. You too, Natalie, put your 2 fingers on the seeds and begin to stroke them very gently and want them to grow. Yes. Try to catch this, because one is coming out. Can you see it? Yes. Fantastic. I'm saying, also in your hand. Look. It's beginning. I'm just going to pick it up. There. You know, every time I do this, I'm amazed over and over again. And you saw it, I saw it. I don't have an explanation to it. Look at it. The day will come, and I don't want to be the guy to do it. The day will come when someone will finally prove that psychic phenomena exist, because it does.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on our stage, Uri Geller.
Listen, what's happening here? Everyone at the show makes everyone look really bad.
I don't know, Oz.
What's happening? Let's be positive about it.
Well, I'm sure you'll be positive about
I will be, and I just want to tell that all the people that failed here, this is very tough because they're under pressure.
I felt that
very much so. So, cheer up, because magicians can duplicate some of these things with trickery. Does not mean that genuine psychics do it with trickery. Anyone can imitate the Mona Lisa, but that does not make them Leonardo da Vinci. You people remember that.
Got that in mind. Now, before, just so there's no confusion,
Yeah.
I should point out that you are not a challenger trying here
No.
for 100,000.
No.
Okay. Now, what remarkable psychic phenomenon are you going to demonstrate for us tonight?
Okay, first of all, I want you all to know that I'm just basically a very simple person. I believe in God. I think that my ability and your ability comes from our Creator. But down the line, I'm just an ordinary person. And I think I have a very unusual ability. And I think some of you will experience it in your home tonight. Now, the broken watches that you have near you, the clocks, the broken house appliances. Well, don't hold the refrigerator in your hand, but do hold the watch, do hold the clock, wind them quickly up. Although they're broken, wind the watches up and the clocks. Now, even if you're skeptical out there, and also you people here, just for 30 seconds or 1 minute, be positive. Want things to happen. Hold them in your hands, all of you, all across America, Canada, Australia, Italy, wherever this goes. And you people here to help me. Let's say to the watches, to the broken clocks and watches, and the broken house appliances, I will say 1, 2, 3, and you all will shout with me the word work. Even if it looks silly, let's do it. Now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, work! Again, 1, 2, 3, work! Believe. Now, I'm saying this seriously. Believe that your watches and clocks will start, and the broken house appliances. One more time, 1, 2, 3, work! And the last time, concentrate, believe, 1, 2, 3, work! Now, be quiet. Very gently, open your hands. If you have a second hand, look at it. Is it moving? If you don't have a second hand, very slowly and gently put it up to your ear and listen. Did it start ticking? Shh. Did it? Later on, check the house appliances. Do not stick them in the electricity if they're dangerous. But if anything with battery that was broken is working, I would very much like you to call and let us know. Now, if nothing happened to you, don't be disappointed, because it doesn't happen to everyone, and it doesn't happen all the time. And the last thing I want to say, that I didn't do this. It wasn't my power that flew through the airways out from your television sets. No, I was a trigger. Even Randi can do this. You can do it. Everyone can do this. Because if you trigger some kind of a power within you, it will work. So I really want to know what happened. Please call us. Thank you very much.
And now for a response, let's go to Randi backstage.
Well, I must admit that Mr. Geller has amazed me, this time with his assumption that the American public is going to be impressed by two simple tricks, which, when I was a kid, frankly, used to be on the back of cornflake boxes. At summer camp, we used to do the old compass trick to impress the new campers. Sometimes they were impressed, sometimes they weren't. And of course, it's not necessary to say, move, move, and grunt and groan unless you have some sort of a digestive problem. And I'm certainly not going to take off my shirt afterwards, because after Mr. Geller took off his shirt, you notice he didn't make the compass needle move again? Watch this, it's very simple. Hey, move, compass needle, and it moves. How easy can you get? Now, he also plays God with radish seeds, some sort of a silly thing in his hand. I have here a package of radish seeds. These didn't come from Italy or Germany. These came from Kmart, just down the street, as a matter of fact. And nothing could be simpler. Now, if I had a 12-year-old student of magic, and the 12-year-old student wasn't able to hide in here someplace one germinated seed, oh, look, every time I do this, I'm amazed. I just don't know how it works. Look at this. Not terribly surprising. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if a 12-year-old child tried to do this and then tell people he was God because he could do it, I'd send him to his room without supper. But let's give him a chance, shall we? Mr. Geller has said that he's going to produce miracles for us. I can hardly wait.
If you experienced a strange or unusual occurrence in your home during Uri Geller's appearance just now, call us. Some of you will be put on the air live with Uri Geller and James Randi.
Did something strange occur in your home? Yes, dial 1-900-490-6301. No, dial 1-900-490-6302. Callers will be charged $2 per call. The ghost of a painter paints. The ghost of a surgeon operates. Uri Geller astounds. And $500,000 remains to be given away in the $100,000 Psychic Challenge when we continue exploring psychic powers live.
Spiritualism, now known as channeling, is based on a belief that it's possible for the living to communicate with departed spirits.
We visited the only college in the world devoted exclusively to the study and practice of spiritualism.
What goes on really at Stansted Hall is a mystery to a lot of people. Basically, we try to teach spiritualism. By far, our students are made up of people from 40 years of age upwards. We very, very rarely nowadays get any really youngsters, say in the teenage bracket. Of course, there's a logical reason for this. People aren't afraid of dying or interested in death, for instance, until they're getting on towards an age when that becomes an interesting part of their thinking. But nevertheless, most of the people that come here are middle to elderly. Men and women are reasonably fairly balanced, and we get them from just about every possible walk of life. And as we're the only residential spiritualist college in the world, we get them from just about every single country going.
Because I keep getting this, you see here, and I felt that there had been several tragedies in some way in your family. There are things that have happened very quickly to the family and brought distress in some way.
Gordon Higginson, the principal of Stansted Hall, is considered to be one of the world's leading mediums. People come from 5 continents hoping that he can help them communicate with departed friends and relatives.
Because I keep on receiving that, and I can also see a gentleman here, and he's a soldier.
My father.
Your father. He wishes to be remembered to you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
That's fine. Built there in a very lovely way, and I keep hearing the name of John as I'm talking to you.
That's my brother.
That's your brother?
Yes.
Now, please, madam, don't take wrong what I'm going to say to you. But have you had anything done with your hair that is different from what it was some years ago?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes, I have.
Because they keep looking at your hair. And they keep saying to me, we couldn't have remembered her like this. Because it's totally different from what it was like. Am I correct?
That's very true.
Good. But he does say that he feels now better where he is because he wouldn't have liked to have been a burden. And he felt that he would have been. Yes. Do you understand that? And I think you know that, don't you?
We have to realize that basically, as far as spiritualism goes, death is the main stock in trade. Without death, there would be no spirit people. Without spirit people, there would be no spirit return and no use for a medium.
Now, she was obviously a very psychic lady herself, quite mediumistic. Her hair may have been whiter than that when she went to spirit, but she gives me the colour because of that reddish hint. I think the red hair should give you some sort of clue which side of the family she fits into.
Yes.
She suffered quite a lot before she passed with either chest or heart trouble, I feel. She makes me feel very weary towards the end of her life.
That's true.
But she never lost her humour.
She was a lovely lady.
What I'm doing is trying to draw portraits of people related or linked with the sitter who have passed into the world of spirit or perhaps as the ordinary world would say, have died. I don't see or hear them. I just somehow or other manage to draw portraits of them. But I can't draw what they want to order. I have to wait for someone in the spirit world to come forward and want to be drawn and be able to be drawn. I'm not really sure how they communicate with me, but it works most of the time. That's the mother of a Japanese television producer. And months later, he sent me back a little photograph. It's a very quick, scribbly drawing because I was trying to draw fast for the TV cameras. This picture was done by post. I never even met the boy's mother. He died having an operation to straighten his nose, and she later sent me back a photograph and a copy of the drawing that I could use if I needed to put it in a book at any time.
But what is the problem is that so many people ignorant of the subject tend to be invited on television, unfortunately, that should never be on at all. And people speak that should never really be asked to speak on these matters because they're very deep subjects. And I think it puts to the public generally that spiritualism is not really a very sane sort of sensible movement, but it is.
I would point out to you that Mr. Higginson and the other mediums were doing readings for people whose records they had in front of them. They were students at the school. We turn now to something real, a very special class of phenomena, which are not physical powers or psychic powers, but which are inherited and learned. We call them special abilities. And the people who possess them are called savants, people of profound or extensive learning. Some savants are autistic, but our next guest certainly is not. In fact, at 28, this man is about to become a professor of mathematics at Harvey Mudd College, and he possesses a very special ability. He's what's known as a lightning calculator. Ladies and gentlemen, Arthur Benjamin. Arthur, why don't you just go right ahead and show us what you can do?
Okay, thank you, Randy. My name's Arthur Benjamin. With me is Professor Ray Hyman, who will be verifying our calculations. But first, we have to make sure that his calculator is working properly. Randy, would you have somebody in the audience give us a two-digit number, please?
All right, sir. Would you give us a two-digit number?
25. 25. And another two-digit number, please.
37.
Multiply 25 times 87. Make sure you get 925 or the calculator's not working. Is your calculator working?
Yes, 925.
Very good. Now, I noticed that took you a little bit of time to get your answer. Let me give you a shortcut for multiplying even faster on the calculator. There's something called the square of a number, which is taking a number and multiplying it by itself. For instance, the square of 5 is 25. Now, on this calculator, we can square very quickly by entering the number, hitting times, and then equals. That's a shortcut the calculators use to multiply faster. What I'm going to try and do now is to square two-digit, three-digit, even four-digit numbers in my head faster than he can do on the calculator. Randy, would you have somebody start us off with a two-digit number?
A two-digit number, sir.
74.
The square
74.
is 5,476.
Wow.
Right?
Is that right?
Right on.
Let's try a three-digit number, Randy.
All right, ma'am.
255.
255. We'll give you 65,025.
Is that correct?
Enough.
Son of a gun.
Let's do another three-digit number. Another three-digit number.
A three-digit number, sir.
327.
106,929.
Is that
Right on.
Is that right, Ray? Okay.
Let's go into a four-digit number now,
A
Randy.
four-digit number. All right, but before we do this, Art, do me a favor, so the folks will understand a little about what you're doing. Would you do it out loud for us?
Sure. Now, I'm not going to be explaining what's going on in my head, but I will think out loud. Let me say something in advance. You might hear a word creep up in the calculation. I'm using a phonetic code, a mnemonic device, to help the memory process to go a little bit faster. Okay, Randy, have somebody give us a four-digit number.
All right, sir. A four-digit number.
4,324.
4324. Okay, 4324. Double that is 4648. 4648. Multiply that is 18592. That's 18,592,000. 592 becomes Lappin. Okay, so the original number was at 4324. Okay, 4324 squared, 324 squared is 104,400 plus 576, 104,976. Add that to Lappin, becomes 696,976.
Right on. Right
Good.
on.
Thank you very much.
Benjamin, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big round of applause. Lightning calculator, Arthur Benjamin.
Earlier in the show, Uri Geller predicted that strange things would happen in your home. Now, if you experienced a strange or an unusual occurrence in your home since Uri Geller's appearance, call us. Some of you will be put on the air live with Uri Geller and James Randi.
Did something strange occur in your home? Yes, dial 1-900-490-6301. No, dial 1-900-490-6302. Callers will be charged $2 per call. Coming up, Penn and Teller and the $100,000 Divining Challenge on Exploring Psychic Powers Live. Exploring Psychic Powers Live. While ESP challenger Valerie Swan continues to try to win the $100,000 ESP challenge, concentrate on this card. You can test your powers of ESP by taking part in the National ESP Test. Try to picture the shape on the other side of the card and call the number opposite the shape you see. Callers will be charged $2 per call.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've made it my business to expose medical quackery and shady practitioners of so-called psychic powers because to believe in these powers can be very dangerous. In their own way, my friends Penn and Teller would like to make the same point.
Hi, my name is Penn Gillette. This is my partner, Teller. We're Penn and Teller. Randy is a great man. Randy is a wise man. Randy is a fair man. Randy is spending a lot of time having an open mind and investigating these nuts. He hears them out. He tests them. We are wise guys. We are snotty, condescending, self-righteous, and holier than thou. We have the luxury of not having to be fair. We know that you know that all this New Age stuff is bunk. It was bunk 100 years ago. It's bunk now. But how can you make a buck off it? Here's a neat little trick that you can use to exploit these New Age airheads. If you take the round hole of a key and press it hard against your finger or thumb for a little while, you'll get a pale bubble that looks for all the world like a burn blister. And here's the really cool part. After a minute or two, voila, it goes away. Instant healing. Who would fall for this? I think you might know one or two. How do you make a buck off it? You watch. Yeah, and a baked chicken pot pie served extra hot in an earthenware casserole, please, from a partner.
Extra hot.
Yeah, thanks. Have you ever heard a conversation like this going on around you? Listen in. Don't worry about eavesdropping. These are just actors. They want you to listen to them.
I don't know what I feel. And what I feel is that there's something to this New Age thing.
I mean, you hear so much about it.
Well, I know things have happened to me that I just can't explain.
Now that I believe.
Yeah, I saw this actress on TV, and she was saying that she could feel the past lives in crystal.
All major legitimate scientific breakthroughs are announced by actors on TV. Thank you. Now, you may hear this kind of stuff and be put off your food. You may feel like saying something like this. But if you think like us, you think, here are some sheep. How do I shear them? Get your blister ready and empty the salt shaker into your pocket.
Here we go. Now you watch out for that plate. It's really hot. Will there be anything else?
No, don't bother. He's an expert in natural healing. That looks like a bad one. What are you going to do about it? You know, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation about all this New Age stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's all true. I've seen it. I got proof. Better proof than a doctor or a scientist working in a laboratory. Proof that you, an uneducated, ignorant layperson, can see with your own eyes. See? All better.
Aren't those mini healing crystals used by the Shabas of Nepal? I read about them somewhere. They just started importing them illegally. They're not cleared by the FDA, and they're supposed to have incredible powers. But they're hard to get a hold of. Are those the ones that cure cold sores and make you immune to all diseases? Wow. Could I buy a teaspoon from you? I'll give you 20 bucks. 40 bucks. Wow. To be that expensive, they must be really way good, huh? How about 50 bucks? Done deal. Thanks. I'll take a teaspoon.
Excuse me. I have this cold sore. Do you think your crystals could help me?
Oh, yeah, fever blister? Take care of that with no problem by restoring the natural balances within your own body. Excuse me. Thank you.
And I have these crow's feet that are simply horrible from playing tennis in the sun too much. Would they help my skin?
And I have such a problem, you know, sleeping at night. I tell you.
Oh, and I've had this horrible craving for sweets.
And I've got a problem with my knee.
Oh, and my charge card's out of consight. Is this mine here?
Thank you.
See? It's easy. All you need is a car key and no morals. Of course, we were just kidding. We would never, ever take money from people under false pretenses in real life. Right now, tellers in the restaurant refunding every penny and offering to loan those smug fizz heads his copy of a videotape of this show so that they can become better people. You didn't get a chance to eat anything, did you, Tony? Let's go get dinner.
Divining, or dowsing for water and minerals, dates back to ancient Egypt. The primary tools of the dowser are divining rods, sometimes straight, sometimes forked, frequently made from the branch of a hazel tree or just plain coat hangers. But in the hands of certain people who possess the power of divining, these rods are said to move in various ways when water or minerals are present. Some believe that dowsers possess a faculty not unlike that of a medium or clairvoyant, and that their powers are indeed supernatural. Divining Challenger Forrest Bays was born in Kentucky. He's 47 years old, married with 2 children, and works as a carpenter. He first learned how to dowse for water in the Sierra Mountains over 10 years ago. Because of the sensitivity of divining rods, it was necessary to conduct the divining challenge prior to tonight's broadcast, in an open space where existing water pipes and other sources of water could not interfere with the test. 20 numbered and sealed boxes were brought to the area. Inside some of the boxes are 5-gallon containers of Arrowhead water. The other boxes are filled with a material making them identical in weight and appearance. Divining Challenger Forrest Bays was allowed to stand over each box in turn and using divining rods attempt to read their contents. The boxes that he said contained water were recorded by a notary and signed by Mr. Bays at the test site. The boxes Mr. Bays chose were transported to the studio, and they're here right now. We're going to open them in a moment. But first, Forrest, I assume that these divining rods are the same ones that you use at Universal Studios and during the actual test.
Yes, they are.
Okay. We have here a bottle of the same kind of water that was used in the test. So would you please show us how these rods work?
Certainly.
All right. Well, that's quite amazing. Now, let's go over here, please. Now, are these the boxes that you said contained water, and are they sealed with your signature on the top?
Yes, they are.
So all these boxes contain water. All right, Forrest, please would you open the boxes. Now remember that 20 of the boxes, of the 20 boxes rather, there are a certain number with water in them. Now, Dr. Krippner, will you tell us that number? Dr. Krippner?
Well, of the 20 boxes, there were 5 containing water, and Mr. Bays found 8 bottles.
All right, we have 1 with water in here. But I'm afraid, you say there were 5 boxes?
That's right.
And Mr. Bays chose 8 of the boxes. I'm sorry, but we came to one of the non-5 boxes with sand. I'm very, very sorry. We really appreciate, Mr. Bays, your attempt at trying, and thank you very much for the effort and the energy you put.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you experience a strange or unusual phenomenon in your home, please tell us. Some of you will be put on the air live, so call us now, please.
Did something strange happen in your home? Yes, dial 1-900-490-6301. No, dial 1-900-490-6302. Callers will be charged $2 per call. Next, psychic surgery exposed on Exploring Psychic Powers live.
This is Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, France. It's one of the most famous cemeteries in all of Europe. Certainly more important people are buried here than anywhere else in the world.
Frédéric Chopin, Oscar Wilde, Gertrude Stein, and Edith Piaf. Even American rock star Jim Morrison.
And many more. This is the tomb of French spiritualist Allan Kardec.
In 1856, Kardec wrote the Book of Spirits, which became the Bible of spiritualism. He believed in reincarnation and was the first to define poltergeists. Since his death, Kardec has become the object of fanatical hero worship, as his flower-covered grave attests. To this day, people come to Kardec's tomb, like that woman over there, hoping they can contact his spirit.
Which leads us to the grave of another man whose name has become associated with the spirit world. Italian painter Amedeo Modigliani.
One of Kardec's disciples, a Brazilian medium named Gasparetto, claims to be in touch with Modigliani today. Halfway around the globe in Brazil, one of the most fertile areas for paranormal activity in the world, Gasparetto claims Modigliani is still able to paint through his hands, 70 years after the artist's death. Is Gasparetto really communicating with Modigliani? Are these paintings truly the work of a departed master? Or is Gasparetto a talented forger passing off his own art as that of Modigliani?
With us now is Dr. Alberto Vialdo. He's an author, a professor at San Francisco State University, and one of the world's foremost investigators of psychic surgery and psychic healing. Now, Doctor, you studied witch doctors, psychic surgeons, psychic healers, especially in Brazil. Do you really believe psychic surgery and psychic healing work?
You know, it is difficult to dismiss these things altogether. The will to heal, in other words, the power of the mind in healing, appears to play an important part. And perhaps this is what the healers do best. They get the patients to heal themselves.
All right, I know that you brought some footage which was filmed in Brazil, and what you're about to see could be upsetting to some of you, so please be forewarned. All right, Doctor, will you please tell us about the clip?
One of the many healers I have studied in Brazil is this man, Dr. Edson Queiroz, a licensed medical doctor who performs psychic surgery on patients whom Western medicine has given up. In an altered state, Dr. Edson claims that the spirit of the German physician, Dr. Adolf Fritz, returns to perform extraordinary operations without using anesthesia, antiseptics, and sometimes even using a rusty surgical knife. Dr. Edson is removing syringe needles from the chest of a heart patient whom he claims feels no pain. Dr. Edson is illustrating the extraordinary capabilities that we all have to heal ourselves and others, and to control pain and infection without the use of drugs, and also to tap the wisdom of the body to create extraordinary states of health. Here, Dr. Edson is taking my hand and rubbing it on the surgical incision to demonstrate his claim there's no danger from infection. Dr. Edson does not charge money for his services. Now you're about to see a sleight-of-hand artist who will attempt to convince you through a very unscientific demonstration to dismiss this whole phenomena of psychic healing. Do not be fooled by these parlor tricks. Also, do not forget that the mind has an extraordinary power to heal the body. In the same way that we create psychosomatic disease, we can also create psychosomatic health.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Vialdo. And let's now go to James Randi for his response.
I really can't say that I disagree with Dr. Vialdo on some of his comments, but these are not parlor tricks. If they're parlor tricks, they're very deadly ones. I have a volunteer from the audience here who has agreed to come up here and place himself on the table. Would you remove your shirt first, please, sir? And we're going to do a demonstration of so-called psychic surgery as it is practiced in the Philippines. Now, if you just plunk your head right out there, this is how it looks. It looks a little bit gory at first, so please don't be too shocked by it. It's simply done like this. Now, this is the kind of operation that is done in the Philippines and which, in the long run, cost comedian Peter Sellers his very life, because he went to the Philippines believing that he was being operated on and that tumors and such were being removed from his body. In actuality, of course, it is nothing more than sleight of hand, though the hand does appear to penetrate the body. Dreadful things indeed. Hold on there, Rocky, we're right with you. And of course, I need not tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that these substances are, as the analysis usually shows, chicken and other animal parts. Nothing more than that, and yet people go off to the Philippines by the tens of thousands and depend upon so-called psychic surgery, psychic healing, and they return to their countries to die. Rocky, I want to thank you very much. You deserve a big round of applause for coming up here. I do think you can get up now. Thank you. And Rocky, if I were you,
Concentrate on this card. It's your last chance to vote in the National ESP test. Just dial the number next to the shape you see. Callers will be charged $2 per call. Next, the $100,000 Psychometry Challenge and the results of the National ESP test on Exploring Psychic Powers. Live.
We invited a number of people to make predictions prior to our broadcast tonight, and some who are well-known, like Gene Dixon, refused. Others who are not so well-known, like our prediction challengers, agreed. They are Joseph Shea from New York and Sharon Sand from Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, none of their predictions came true, but in some cases, they weren't far off.
That's right. Sharon Sand predicted that 2 U.S. Navy planes would be involved in a major accident together in the San Diego area on May 26th. Regrettably, 2 Marine Corps helicopters did collide in the Reno area. However, the accident occurred 48 hours later than predicted on May 28th. Not in the right place, not on the right date.
Joseph Shea predicted earthquakes in 4 cities: Punta Arenas, Chile, Tokyo, Los Angeles, and Hindu Kush, India. On April 24th, there were earthquakes in 3 of those cities. However, they were 12 to 24 hours later than predicted, and one of the quakes was in Punta Arenas, Costa Rica, not Chile.
We can conclude our brief examination of predictions with this observation. In the week prior to this show, it is especially interesting to note that no one, well-known or unknown, predicted the unspeakable bloodshed in China, the death of the Ayatollah Khomeini, or the horrible explosion and train wreck in Russia, which claimed over 800 lives. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
ESP challenger Valerie Swan had a chance to read all 250 ESP cards. Well, now, Valerie, I know it's been a very long test. How do you feel?
It was exhausting.
But you're okay now, I hope.
Yeah.
All right, good. Valerie's responses have been recorded. Now, Dr. Krippner, please, what are the results?
Valerie correctly identified the shape on the reverse side of 50 cards, but she needed 82 to win, so she did not meet the challenge.
Oh, Valerie, I'm sorry you worked so hard tonight. Thank you for being here, and thanking you for being on the Psychic Show. Thank you.
And now for the results of the National ESP test. Most of you saw the wavy lines, 42%. Here are the other percentages. 11% saw the star, 16% the square, 21% the circle, and 10% the plus. 42% saw the wavy lines. Now, in previous tests like this one, it's been established that most people would tend to select a star from among these 5 shapes. Let's see what's actually on the card. Dr. Krippner, you have the only key to the padlock, and you've been holding on to it since we began the test, correct?
That's right. And here is the card.
Ladies and gentlemen, the card that most of you chose is the square. And as we revealed moments ago, a certain percentage of the audience, 16% of the audience, saw the square, but the winner by far was the wavy lines. Incorrect.
Our final $100,000 psychic challenge tonight involves psychometry, the ability to read people by picking up vibrations and signals from things they have had in their possession. Now, prior to the broadcast, we collected watches and key rings from a number of volunteers who swear they do not know and have never met our psychometry challenger. All of the objects have been inspected to make sure they're free of any marks, initials, or symbols which might identify their owners. The challenger's job is to match each of the watches we gave her with the corresponding key ring owned by the same person. She does this, we're told, by receiving psychic messages from the objects themselves. Psychometry challenger Sharon McFarland Straz is 38 years old, married, and the mother of 2 children. She comes to us from St. Louis, attended the University of Washington in Seattle, and says she learned that she had psychic powers 14 years ago during a psychic reading. Today, she's a professional psychic and metaphysician. Now, these are the people whose watches and rings are on the table. And Sharon has fastened the watches and the key rings together with a twist tie. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please step forward and claim your watches and tell us if your keys are attached. Sharon, I must ask you, was it very difficult for you to put these together, or?
No, Bill, it wasn't. It was rather easy.
Easy?
Yeah.
Comes with the
I'm
talent.
hoping that it worked out okay.
All right. Now, Sharon, you need 9. We got to get all the rest of them here. Is this yours, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. We need 9 out of 12 to win. So, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you found your watches correctly matched your keys? Can we see it by a show of hands? 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm sorry, that's only 2 out of 12. And Sharon, you needed 10 out of 12. But thank you. I'm sorry you're unable to prove your powers as a commentator today, but thanks for accepting the challenge. You did a lot of work, and we appreciate it.
This is your last chance to tell us if you experienced a strange or unusual phenomena in your homes during this show. Some of you will be put on the air live, so call us right now.
Did something strange occur in your home? Yes, dial 1-900-490-6301. No, dial 1-900-490-6302. Callers will be charged $2 per call.
Next, the results of Uri Geller's attempt to create a disturbance in your home on Exploring Psychic Powers. Live.
Earlier, psychic Uri Geller stood on the stage and claimed that the power of his mind would make strange things occur tonight during this broadcast in homes all over the world. Thousands of viewers have called in to report such disturbances. Now, Geller claims he caused those disturbances. Randi claims they're coincidental. From those responding, we've selected several callers at random. Randi and Uri are talking to them right now, and let's find out exactly what happened.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Yeah, talk louder because I can't hear you.
Hi, my name is Shelley.
Okay, hi Sharon. Where are you calling from?
Quakertown, Pennsylvania.
Okay, tell me what happened.
My clock that hasn't worked for 6 years that I didn't know that my husband had taken apart and saw that the motor was ruined is now running and has been running for 40 minutes.
And he really took it apart and then he put it back again.
He said he didn't put it all back together, only part of it.
So you mean it's now ticking with missing parts?
Yep.
That's great, you see? And just keep it up. Keep it up and it'll tick forever. Now just tell me, is your husband a watchmaker?
No, he's not. He's a diesel mechanic.
Very good. Good. I just want to correct something that people, you don't think that I did it with the power of my mind. I triggered it in you. You actually did it. Okay, thank you very much for calling us.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Sharon. Hello? Yes, can you speak louder, please? Where are you calling from?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, and what's your name?
Pat.
Can you just tell me your full name so nobody will think that, you know, you guys been paid by me to call.
Okay,
what's your full name?
Pat Holt.
And where do you live? Give me your address, quickly.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, now what happened to you?
We had a 27-inch color television that hasn't worked for a year.
Yes.
No color, no sound, wouldn't even turn on. And after you came on, I plugged it in. It works perfectly.
You owe us $27. Give it away to charity. Now listen, you didn't kick the television, did you?
No, I didn't, but we tried to kick it to get it to work before.
And it didn't. And it
You're
started tonight.
wonderful.
That's great, because so many skeptics, like Randy, say, well, if you shake the watch, or if you kick the watch, or you warm the oil, or God knows what, then it'll start ticking. I say, well, yes, maybe there are some watches that do start ticking because you shake them. But even out of those thousands of phone calls tonight, even if one watch started ticking with a powerful mind, that really validates it to me. Now, next call. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, let me try to get you telepathically. Hello? Okay, all right. Next call. Hello? We're going to maybe I caused a disturbance in the telephone lines. All right.
All right, gentlemen, I'm sorry, I'm afraid we are running out of time. Now, we've heard what the callers had to say, those that get through to us. It seems incredible to me. Now, Randy, what do you have to say?
So this is the astounding feat that Mr. Geller offers as proof of his wonderful psychic powers. Last Saturday morning, listeners to Phoenix radio station KSLX were treated to a similar performance by psychic Massimo Polidoro from Milan, Italy. Mr. Polidoro told the audience, as Mr. Geller did tonight, that wondrous things would occur in their homes as he put forth supernatural vibrations. Let's listen to some brief reports by the amazed listeners who called in.
We've got Massimo Polidoro from Milan, Italy. He is a kinetic psychic, and let's go to the phone. Hi, KSLX.
Hello, my name's Bob. My cat, it's pawing at the radio right now, standing with its hair on edge. I've never seen behavior like this in my life.
Hi, KSLX. Is something strange happening at your house?
Hi, this may really sound silly, but I have a clock my mom gave me. It's an antique clock. It hadn't worked when she gave it to me, but it's a family clock, and it started ticking. I mean, it's making that tick-tock noise back and forth.
Hi, KSLX. Anything weird going on where you are?
Yeah, I'm at work, and we're reprocessing artificial kidneys, and the reprocessing machine started backing up foam out of the sink.
Tammy's on the phone live with us right now.
Okay, I walked out into my kitchen. I have a clock that's battery operated. And when I looked up at the clock, it said 8 o'clock. And it's still ticking, and it was on time before.
And you just went in there just like recently?
Yeah.
Because right now it's 8:23.
Well, the only problem here is that Mr. Polidoro is a colleague of mine who has as much psychic power as a piece of shirt cardboard. Over a period of only 30 minutes, reacting to suggestions that any anomaly at all would be due to psychic influence, listeners to that station called in and reported things that they ordinarily would not have even noticed. We thank the folks at KSLX for proving our point for us, and I rest my case.
Well, thank you, Randy and Uri. You have time now to make one final remark. Uri?
Okay, my remark is, it's history making. We're on the same stage today. You didn't believe that, and I did it. Now, my response is this. I said that everyone can do it because we all have psychic powers. Sure. And you just proved it with your colleague.
Right.
Bless you all out there.
All right, stay with us. We'll return in a moment with a final observation by the amazing Randi.
Ladies and gentlemen, psychic powers are so heavy this evening that I apparently made an error. It was not the square that most of you voted for, it was the wavy lines, just in case. Now, we have not proven much this evening in the way of whether or not psychic powers really exist. What we have established is that the people who came here were brave enough to be tested. We congratulate them for their bravery, and we thank them very much for their attendance. You see, you can't prove a negative. I don't try to prove a negative. They are supposed to be trying to prove a positive. Suppose I wanted to find out if reindeer for Santa Claus could fly. I suggest we take 1,000 of them up on top of the World Trade Center. One at a time, after numbering them, we step to the edge and we say, ready with number 1, make notes. Push. Write down for number 1, no, 0. Okay? Number 2. Not too good either. Number 2, no. Now, we could go on with all of that sort of thing, and ladies and gentlemen, what would we have proven? We would only have proven that these 1,000 reindeer on this occasion either could not fly or chose not to. If they chose not to, we know something about their IQ, too. It's been a lot of fun tonight. Thank you for being with us, and good night, Bill.
Good night, Randy. And 2 final notes. All of tonight's challengers participated in the design of their tests, and they agreed, excuse me, in advance to the test protocol. And whenever a random decision was required by the test protocol, those decisions were made simply by tossing a coin. So thank you, James Randi, Uri Geller, Sylvia Brown, Bob McCoy, Alberto Vialdo, and all the $100,000 psychic challengers. And good night, ladies and gentlemen.